catch the end of that. No. It ends, motherfucker. Welcome back to Girls Talk Comics. Again, because I ain't going anywhere. Your master of mediocrity, Aaron. And the lovely co-host,
Lieutenant Literature, Jessica.
She's putting on a lot of driving miles for this, y'all, so...
Yeah, bitches.
Lieutenant is a fair and earned title.
Yeah. I'll be general someday.
One day.
Yeah.
General or Admiral? Do you want to be Navy or Army?
Can I be Space Navy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Admiral then.
Okay.
Definitely.
Hashtag
like Honor Harrington, that bitch.
Yes.
That was a deep cut, y'all. That was me flexing on my lip.
What a reference. All right, so today we're going to talk about Saga Volume 1, which collects issues...
I think it's 1 through 5.
1 through 5. I'm taking
Yep.
Trying to read the back of the book, because prepared.
Preparado.
So, Saga at this point, it's an Image comic, incredibly well known throughout the comic community, but for those of you not already in the world,
okay, keep. I don't care. I'm not scared.
So this is a story about I don't know. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet, but less puberty, more war, and more sex, and more childbirth, and they like
aliens
live for longer than an hour and a half after meeting each other.
Right.
Yeah, and aliens.
Less problematic, I'd say, than Romeo and Juliet. Really, we should just scratch Romeo and Juliet and go Tristan and Isolde, but whatevs.
Well, my lieutenant of literature, you're now the commander of literature. We got a new comparison here. Yeah,
Flex.
Yeah, so our characters in this book are newlyweds who are from different sides of a war. One's planet has been really intent on eradicating the other's population on the moon of said planet. Mm-hmm. It's been going on for centuries. I think it's definitely one of those we've forgotten the reason why we're fighting kind of stories. But these two come together in a war camp, essentially, and try to escape.
Yeah.
The first issue is, I think, sets the tone for the rest of the series.
Yes. Feels thick. It feels like a thick, like chapter. They call them chapters.
Yeah, it's an epic. It is definitely an epic. It's definitely got violence, drug use, sex, for mature title.
For mature, fully fleshed out worldview.
Yeah.
It does a really good job at compressed storytelling.
But also just a fantastically written.
Oh, yeah. Compressed storytelling. When I say compressed storytelling, I'm talking more about the fact that they're giving you immediately identifiable characters that are distinguished. They pass the silhouette test. They are all different from each other. They're all, you could tell looking at them and interacting with them that they're going to be a well-detailed, well-rounded character. Mm-hmm. And they give motivations for everything, but they do it in a panel. Like they use the full flex of the art to really bring you face first, sprinting as soon as your feet touch the ground. Yeah.
Like this is it's not a happy story, but it's a great adventure. Mm-hmm. It's a great journey through this universe and through these characters, because right before recording, because that's the best time to compare something. It's kind of, if you're into Game of Thrones, it's kind of a Game of Thrones stylized story. You're going to meet people, you're going to fall in love with people. Some of them are already dead in the book, and yet still hanging around and being incredibly useful. Yes. And
shout out to the babysitters.
Hey, to be honest, that is the sales pitch I have given people on the floor about it. And
wouldn't you want a ghost babysitter to show up for the night shift?
Honestly, with how much she knows about babies,
no kidding.
Yeah, I would. I'd be like, heck yeah. It's weird that your organs are hanging out of the lower half of your body because of a war crime, but sorry, and thanks for helping me out.
Yeah. I don't know, we haven't talked about are the female characters good yet on this one, but the mother of this child, the narrator of the book.
The child is the narrator.
The child is the narrator, yes. Yeah. But the mother is probably my favorite comics character, and I have a lot of these volumes. I've only read the first one so far, but she has still managed to capture my heart and soul completely in this one comic. She is such a delight to read with.
She is so wonderfully flawed too, and I think that's what makes her so amazing as a mom and as a character is she comes in swinging and with her personality and her imperfections and her expectations.
I want to be a mom like her.
Right? Just real
as fuck. And like, I'm going to hold a gun to my baby's head if it means not letting the baby get hurt in the end worse.
Yeah. I mean, she immediately has to make some hard decisions about like hours, days after giving birth and having to be on the run. They're a great couple. They really do balance each other out.
Yes.
I mean, not only are they two different types of aliens from two different cultures, but they have two different perspectives. They're both flawed from the start, but she is just downright, I'm gonna fight dirty. I'm gonna mess some people up. I wouldn't want to meet her.
No.
If I was like...
if it did, she's kind of like what I imagine, what my 13-year-old self imagined Angelina Jolie was like whenever I was watching the Tomb Raider comic, like the Tomb Raider shows.
Yeah.
I think that's the sexy, amazingly strong TM badass that I want to be. Not like you get these strong female characters, quote unquote, but like just, I want equal representation for the anti-heroines.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's definitely like the mom who would fight somebody's kid.
Yes.
If her kid was being bullied.
Yes.
She would fight their mom, and she would fight the dad, and she would fight like
the police when they showed up
because her kid was being picked on. I mean, she'll make some tough choices.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might just be what Saga's about. It's having to make those tough choices and deal with heartbreak and deal with like, again, bad things happening to good people, good things happening to bad people, bad things happening to bad people.
In action comics and like all of those action movie tropes that you love, like the firing behind yourself, witty repartee, like all of that.
Yeah.
It's wrapped in that. It's wrapped in all of the fantasy tropes. It uses the full vocabulary that it has before it. It's chosen this amazing like universe to just completely dig in and drill into what it means to be a person. Which I think is part of the fun of having so many different species involved in a story. Because you get to really deal with different types of people, and they're all people without sort of some of the baggage that we have now.
Oh, that's a really good point. And what's nice about Saga and being able to kind of jump in and this kind of wonderful representation of characters and action, it kind of is like Star Wars in a sense, where you just have all of these aliens and you have all these planets and you have all of these places, and you don't have like, you just accept that they're there. you don't get the full like, here's a paragraph explaining this place. You're like, yep, there's a species that has television sets for heads.
Yes,
that's a thing.
Yes, and they're royalty.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I'm rolling with this, and their expressiveness and how they show things with the imagery, and that is Brian K. Vaughan. I mean, is he's the writer. Yeah. Fiona Staples is the artist. I'm gonna practice making sure that's said in these episodes, but they are doing a fantastic job building the universe visually. Brian is writing a great story. He's not providing a lot of that lore in the narrative part of it. And Fiona Staples is doing a great job providing that backdrop. And
right. You can tell they trust each other to do their portion fully. They're not trying to pick up anything for the other person.
Right. Which is good.
I like it when they work well together.
Yeah. And they have their, like, clear roles.
Yeah.
Yep. Obviously, we like it.
Yeah, we like it. I got the trade, like I said before, and there's not really anything extra in it, but it definitely is a kind of... It's got some heft to it in terms of the storyline, so anytime I can draw out my exposure to something into longer chunks, that's what I'm going to want to do. But I don't know, is there anything in the singles that I have been blind to?
I've been reading it in trades too. The singles are actually really hard to pick up. At this point, it's like 7 trades in. Like,
I think it's more than that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I only have 7 on the shelf.
I don't know. I'm so far behind in my reading of it. I have 6, but I feel like there's like 12 out.
There are a lot out, and picking up the singles would be impressive, but that first issue is a wall comic, which means it's a collector's item.
Which sucks. When they're good like this, it's about impossible. I had been on the ground for a couple of these Image just complete blow-ups like this Saga. And I've had things stolen out of my pool files. It's a jungle out there, folks. If you want to try to do this on the ground at first swing, you might just have to. Luckily, these are all very, very available in trades.
Yes, the trades. Normally, I recommend people do pick up things in trades. They take up less space. You don't really have to worry about keeping them protected. But this is one I recommend mostly in trades, mostly because that's almost the only way to access it now.
Yeah. It's got its own momentum at this point.
Yeah. But if you are looking for a like sci-fi fantasy action adventure comic that's going to be about family drama and raising a child while on the run through space,
hey,
Saga's a story for you.
And I bet you most of you who think maybe that's not for you just don't know that it's for you yet.
Which is also fair.
So if you have some free library reading apps like Hoopla that you can maybe skim this on and see if you're interested in it, or go to your library's probably got it for you by now, I would recommend it because dipping your toe in. Image is good about those $10 trades for the first one too, so onboarding is not difficult, and they give you enough to whet your appetite.
It's very true. I will mostly be a proponent of Image throughout these.
Because it's got a fucking end to it.
Yeah. They
tell a fucking story and then they leave the story and then you feel like you've accomplished something. It's none of this never-ending bullshit.
So another reason that I recommend trades for Saga, again, a lot of publishers, for those who don't know, and by a lot of publishers, I mean Marvel and DC, they're known for just kind of going on forever and then just resetting their universe and starting over again. Whereas Image, because they don't have anything like the Avengers or these like stable heroes and stories, they don't have a universe to reset. It's just all self-contained. Saga, on the other hand, I think went on a year-long hiatus. Like, they had this hugely emotional issue, which I only know the cover of, which it was red and had a black feather sitting on it. And so it looks kind of like a blood puddle. And apparently somebody important dies. I don't know. All I've heard is mystery death. And then they went on hiatus.
Oh, shit.
So I also recommend trades so you're not, like, left on that cliffhanger until you get to that trade, which hopefully they'll have come out with a resolution and not just been one of those stories without any. Yeah. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Saga did that. But
it would have been worth the ride.
Yeah, definitely.
Insert some Fleetwood Mac. No, that was a Stevie Nicks reference straight up from solo album. There you go. Deep cuts.
She's the commander of literature.
And of outdated
and like the chief
70s.
Of music. We're getting there.
Why even?
Why not? Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. Hope you liked our little ramble about Saga. And got anything else you need to add?
Buy it. Go buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I second that.
Here.
Buy it from me if you're in my area, which I'm not.
Disclosing on the internet to strangers?
Currently. We'll see where this goes.
We'll see.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Bye.
Bye. I've already forgot where I was going with that.